Greetings. You're here with Kimberly, my voice, on the show. How you all doing out there? I'm so happy that you tuned in to our first episode of so many. I just want to tell you a little bit about hello. We use hello so casually, like hello, hello. But this hello that we're going to do today is confronting issues, circumstances, your fears, your insecurities. We here on the Hello Kimberly My Voice show on IntellectualRadio.com, we want to feed your brain. We want to give you something to think about, something to go and live a better life. So on today, our topic, if you didn't get it, it is, what's our topic? You all know the topic out there? It is my ex, your next. So before we start, I want you to share, and I like, and I want you to say hello to somebody that you know needs to have this conversation. So if you that mama, baby mama, if you got daddy dramas, if you're dating someone with a child, or if you're in a marriage and it's on the end of breaking up and you're not sure what you're going to do, I need you to tell somebody hello with Kimberly My Voice on IntellectualRadio.com because we're about to get the conversation started. If you read one of my flyers, it says that you're one conversation away. And I left the await open because every time we sit here and every time the power of our voice get a time to platform, we're going to have some conversation that's going to help you shift and help you change in something in your life. So on today, the conversation is going to help you get to a healthier blended family. So remember, if you're that baby mama, if you're that baby papa, if you're that date and you're going out with some new guy with a baby, you need to be tuned in because we're about to get started with my ex and your next. I want to introduce my special guest on today. This is Miss Andrea Stanton. If you all just give her some love. I need some love out there. I see some people looking.
Hello.
Yes, your mic needs to be a little closer.
Hello.
Yes. So I when I put the flyer together, I know people was like, okay, who is that on the flyer? Is she an expert in blended families? Is she a counselor? Is she your friend? But the revealing news is I am the ex and she is the next. So you got a good thing coming right about now. I am the ex and she is the next. So I'm just going to have her introduce herself a little bit. And I want to ask one question while she's kind of telling you who she is. Did she ever think that she would be here right now with me doing this broadcast? So let's turn it over to Andrea.
So hello out there. Good evening, everybody. Phenomenal topic. And even before I tell you guys a little bit about me, I'm going to answer your question. The answer is yes.
Really?
I thought I was going to be here one day having this discussion with you.
Okay.
A few years back, I can't even recall what I was doing that prompted me to think about this. But I happened to be sitting in my bed one day, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my Bible close. And I don't know what was running through my mind, but I wrote in my Bible, Kimberly, the ex, the third person in this situation. I wrote his name down too. We'll tell y'all about him later. But most of y'all know. I wrote that name down, and then I wrote blended families counseling.
Wow.
Because I thought we could do a hell of a job with educating and helping some people out in that arena. So,
we're gonna see
today, right?
We're gonna see if we can give some help to you guys.
So I'm Andrea. I am the next. We were married to
the same person.
Maurice Brewer.
Oh, wow. She said the name. That wasn't me. She said the name.
I mean, hey.
Okay.
So we were married to Maurice. But so I am a mother. I have two phenomenal children. I am a grandmother of four beautiful little girls. And I am a by trade, I guess, interior decorator, designer, event planner, furniture painter. And that's me.
Okay. All right. So let's get to the topic.
All right.
So, again, like I promised you, that we were going to have a relatable topic. We were going to have candid conversation and we were going to have inspiring solutions. So, let's talk about this candid conversation. So, like Andrea, I believe that we were going to do this like years ago. So, when I saw Jada Pickett do it, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. That's what I wanted to do. But we all have our certain timings. So, let's get started. What did you expect? I'll say this to you. What did you expect when you married my ex?
My expectation was for me to have a long lasting, beautiful marriage to death do us part. That was my expectation.
Okay. So where did I fit in? Because I know it's been such a struggle. Like we co-parented for what, about 16, 17 years?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even more. We
Mm-hmm.
co-parented through a marriage through about 16 years, but
Right.
maybe co-parented as you all dated, maybe almost 20 years.
Right.
So how was that for you? Like,
So
explain that.
so that was my expectation.
Okay.
What I did not give any thought to at all was how the my stepdaughter and my stepson and you were going to fit into my marriage. Did not give it any thought at all. My thought was solely based on my marriage, and we're sitting here today because that was an afterthought.
Okay.
And I believe many people, it's an afterthought to them as well. And so they're not prepared to be in a blended family situation.
Okay. So I like how you said one thing and I want to point it out. You said you thought you were prepared, but you really wasn't prepared for the two children that came with my ex, but you put me in it. Like you said you, and you kind of said it like you. So what do you mean by you?
Girl, you want me to tell you?
Well, we said we were going to be candid here. So what do you mean by you? Just go ahead and introduce them to the me.
Kimberly Johnson, you know you are a handful and some. About 3, 4, 5 baby mamas.
Okay, you got to be close.
3, 4, 5 baby mamas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain.
I had no clue that I was going to have to deal with 3, 4, 5 baby mamas.
Okay. So I don't think I was that bad, but we need her to understand or explain what is 2 or 3 or 4 baby mamas. But I think I could shine some light on it because I wrote this out. I had to think about what I wanted. So again, I am a person that chose to leave my marriage. My husband and I met at a very young age, high school sweethearts, and we got married, had children. So we were still in a maturing time. So when I chose to walk away, there was something that I didn't want to walk away from. I wanted to walk away from the marriage, but I didn't want to walk away from the family. And I was determined. So, how she said I'm 3 or 4 or 5 baby mamas, I was determined that she could have the husband part and the marriage part, but she was not going to have the family part without me because those were my children. That's my family. So I can say that maybe I was a bit extreme, but to me, I was just being a good mother. They're my children, right? I want to raise my children. I want them to call me mom. I want to be at every play. I want to be at every birthday party. I want to be on trips. I want to be at the class assemblies. And guess what? I was there for it all. So,
and some.
And some.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by and some?
Like all events. Events that didn't even have anything to do with the children. You showed up.
I showed up.
Showed up and showed out.
Well, okay, tell me how I showed out. See,
No,
no,
let me just say this. Let me say this. So because I need to paint a picture. So we were all young.
yes, we were.
I was and this is my second marriage.
Okay.
When I married this time, I was 32. Our husband.
He's
Yeah.
yours. You can say
Yeah.
your husband. You can just keep him on your side. No.
He's the ex again. Like, yeah, the ex is always somebody's next.
Yes,
Just to
that's
clarify
it.
that.
That's it.
Just so
You can be
y'all
the
know
next.
that.
You can be the next. You can be the next. So you better listen
But
up.
he was 27.
Okay. And I was like, so you were, say it again, you was 32 when you married.
Yes.
He was 27. So that
Yes.
means I was like a fresh 22, 23.
Right.
I was young. See,
Yeah.
I was young, but I was determined. Go ahead.
So what I am about to say, you will get some clear understanding. I just want to put that out there. I needed her to say I was 21 before I, jumped in there. No, but so we got into this, and I mean we just knew at it. We had no background. We didn't know what to do. We were just winging it. We were trying to. You were coming out of a marriage, so you were dealing with that. I was going into a marriage. I was trying to deal with that, and then we had 4 children to deal with.
Yes, 4 children.
That's a lot to juggle.
It is
a lot, and it's all very new. And we had no. There's no handbook. We had nobody to reach out to that had a similar situation that could guide us, through it. And so, with being so young, Kim, girl, yeah. So let me say that one day, I'm gonna jump into a story.
Okay, go ahead.
Jump right into a story. So, what do you do when your stepson, my stepson, your son, 7 years old, comes home to my house or his house, his second home,
his father's house?
Yeah. Well, which was actually a revolving door. When we built our house, it was clear that all 4 children had to have their own space.
Okay.
That was clear. And so we did that. But he came home and he said to me, as I was cooking dinner, he says, Pooh, you should be the maid. This is my mommy's house, and you should live in the basement. Now, y'all, where y'all think he got that from? At 7.
Oh, my goodness. So are you saying that you believed I told him that?
He said you told him that. My mommy said.
I'm gonna get you, Maurice, because I don't believe that I said that
at 7 years old.
And if I did, I probably had a good reason. But I can't see myself saying that, because one thing, and I think I kind of told you this on the drive-in. I said one thing that I knew was that I was finished with my marriage, and again, I wanted my family. So with saying that, I can't believe I don't really remember that story or whatever. So how did you feel? Tell me, how did you feel?
I was crushed. I was hurt, because looking in his face when he was saying that to me, he was crushed.
Wow.
He was crushed. And to your point, when you said I could not have the family, that's what he was telling me.
Right.
Through you.
I still plead the fifth on that. I'm not going to discriminate or say that I'm wrong, but I don't remember that. But I do. One thing that I remember, and this is how I remember, because we all have selective memory when we're in situations like that. Somebody said, Kim, you probably said that.
They know you, Kim.
Everybody says that I just talk so much or say, I'm a sweet person. But anyway, I know for sure. People still saying I said it. Oh my goodness. See, I don't even know you. You probably one of Pooh friends.
Look at she said it.
I didn't say it. But anyway, one thing that I did know, I know that I wanted what was best for my children. And even though you say Maurice said that, I'm going to ask him about that, because I really don't remember that, because it kind of goes against everything I believed in and everything I was doing. Because one thing I made for sure, I made sure that I didn't want my kids to feel like they were torn in between two places, because they already had a transition to make, that mommy and daddy is not together.
Right.
They also had that they're moving into a new home and it's far away. So my whole idea, and if you ask anybody, this was what I stood on this, that I actually said, hey, how was your day? Did you and Pooh do this and this and that? When Maurice used to come up and pull up and get you all, and he had the top down and come get my babies and I kissed them, I would smile. And guess what I did afterwards?
What you do?
Then I would cry. I mean, I screamed and cried. And I'm like, where my daughter at? You call in now, Tashana, because she can witness that I always bared all of that because I didn't want them to have to bear it. So I smiled like, oh, Pooh bought this. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you all went here. That's great. But all inside of me was just like, oh, I was so angry. I was so flustered and I was so hurt. So when it was times that I could participate, I made sure I was there. And I know it probably could have been very overwhelming because guess what? I was everywhere. Everywhere. But
remember that time you showed up to the household?
Oh my
you
God.
supposed to drop the kids off for Christmas. Remember that? You don't. So remember we had family dinner.
Okay, we had family dinner, you guys.
No, we.
See, me. Look, I can't help it. I can't help it. We had family dinner. We're family, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
We're family.
We had, it was Christmas.
I'm going to try to get this right. They had family dinner.
We had a Christmas dinner. And the kids, Tashana and Maurice, they were with you Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So we had dinner on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So you were dropping them off.
Okay.
At the house.
Okay.
So you come in. The house is full of people, family, friends, everybody.
Family.
Yeah. And you stay. I look up and everybody looking at me. Is Kim supposed to be here? I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. I look up. Jamal playing pool on the table.
Well, I brought my own husband. Jamal was my husband. So I brought my own husband. Come on now, give me a break. Clearly, I didn't want hers if I brought my own husband.
She shows up.
Oh, goodness.
She shows up. But you know what?
Come on, tell me something good. I was supposed to be the victim on this. You know, she took my man, but it sounds like she's the victim. I don't understand, but okay, I'm listening.
But listen, so these are just some stories, you know, that we're sharing or that I'm sharing.
Yeah, I didn't know about these on here.
I'm sure she's gonna, have a few that she's gonna, and then tables gonna turn. But really, I'm gonna say this because you keep saying we're family, right? Yes, and that's absolutely true.
See,
that's absolutely true. What I struggled with in you showing up every opportunity, it drove me absolutely crazy. I just want to, hit you in the throat a couple of times. Like this is crazy. I can't deal with this. You should have been there.
Thank you.
You should have been there.
Thank you.
We, that is what a blended family is. That's a blended family.
Thank
but
you.
But us being so young, I didn't know that. And Kim was, if you know Kim, she was, getting it in there when she could. You know that.
Oh my God. That. These people don't know that I'm a nice. Y'all know I'm nice.
Y'all know that.
And speak in tongues.
But
see, I don't know what she's talking about. But that was like 25 years ago. Okay.
She was. We said this. I said you was 21.
Yeah, I was young.
Know what people do when they're 21.
Young. But no, I think. Now I'm gonna sound like kids. You know how your kids tell you when you be like, I can't believe you're staying out, and you like, well, Mama, at least I'm not smoking or I ain't pregnant. So that's how I'm gonna say, like, hey, at least, I didn't want your man. Like, ask me that question. Now, this is what I want to say.
Yeah,
I thank you for that. I thank you for acknowledging that at the end of the day that we are family, that was just something that, was it new to you? And it was new to me too. But again, even though my friend Apollonia just said, I wanted the marriage. I didn't want the marriage, but I wanted access to my ex. No, it wasn't my ex. It was my children I wanted access to. But I do thank you for actually sharing that part about at the end of the day, that is what blended families are like. Now, hopefully, you don't get anyone so extreme as I was, but like I told her that I still loved Maurice, but not in that type of way, which I'm sure she probably think I did. Probably think. Do you think that? Did you think that?
I absolutely thought that.
Uh, you actually thought what? What
That
did
you,
you think?
I absolutely thought you wanted Maurice.
Well, if I wanted him, I wouldn't have given him back to you. Or did you take him?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have given him up to you.
I don't think so. No.
Ah, now you don't
No.
say okay. Well,
No. No, but when you're young,
hmm
as we said, we were dealing with all of these dynamics.
Yeah, we were.
Um, I wasn't mentally equipped to be able to separate the if there's another woman involved, then and if she's this close, she still wants him.
Right.
I wasn't mature. You
Okay.
know, none of us were mature.
I was. I saw the bigger picture. They just didn't know. But go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, I absolutely thought that. And what really made me really feel like that is when I would try to talk to Maurice about the things that were aggravating me, or that you were aggravating me.
I was aggravating her. Okay.
I'm like, Maurice, it don't have to go like this. Well, this is what Kim did. Could you talk to her? And I wouldn't get any feedback. So he's like, no, I'm not going to talk to her. What do you mean you're not going to talk to her? I can't control people. They do what they do. I mean, I can't control Kim. What do you mean? I'm just asking you to have a conversation, with her so that we can get past whatever it is so she won't do whatever she's doing anymore. And you're telling me you're not going to do it. So from my perspective, something was going on there. I mean, what else would you think?
I can see that.
Right?
I can see that.
Yeah, so I absolutely thought there was something still there on both of your behalves. Now since now I am the ex.
Now let's hear this. You're the ex now?
Yeah. So since now I am the ex, I've had I've had that sit back time. Now I'm not married to him. Now I'm on the outside looking in, and I watched the way in which he kind of moves, right? And so everything that I thought was going on with you two, him making phone calls or reaching out or accepting, like none of that. He doesn't do that to me. So I had to say, one day I sat back, I had a hello moment.
You had a hello moment?
Hello.
Okay, a hello moment. That's what we're here for, to have a hello moment. So she had a hello moment. What was your hello moment?
All of that you thought about Maurice was not true. Like, you made these things up in your mind. But the way we handled these things made me think that something was going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this because I wrote this word down, and I have a young lady that's out here on my Facebook. My girlfriend Shalandra told me this word years ago about my children. And evidently, I just didn't incorporate it in any part of my life. And that word is boundaries. And I just saw her put up on her news feed that there are certain boundaries that still need to take place. But Shalandra, for me, boundaries are out the door. I need to incorporate them, but I do agree with you that even though we're talking about blended families, even though it should be a cross population where we're able to get along, we're able to support the children and see about the goodness and the well-being of them, we should still respect each other's relationships. Mm-hmm. And I will say that today that may be something that I didn't do. And I apologize. I didn't respect your relationship with him. Really, I hate to say it like this, but I just didn't respect you. That's how I felt. It was just like, whatever, that's my guy. And when I said my guy, because like I said before, we grew up together. Like, you know how you have that first love and first everything, and you know their ins and outs, and it's almost like we made a pact. Like, you my guy, and nothing else gonna happen. You know, you could go on, but we had this kind of bond that went beyond marriage at that time. So I believe that that was just my defense mechanism, because even the little conversation we did had prior to this, the stuff that she told me, I'm like, girl, you didn't smack me, you didn't hit me, like, it was warranted on some of the stuff. And it wasn't like I was vulgar and like did, the stuff you see now. Like, I wasn't ratchet, but I was real direct. I was just like, I'm going to be here. You can't do nothing. I love him. I love my family. You got to deal with it. And so when she was telling me some of these things, I really couldn't believe that that's how I act. But I had to realize that it was because I didn't respect the next relationship. And of course, Shalandra, you're absolutely right. There should be boundaries. There should be boundaries. And if you're out there, even though you're gleaning from some of the stuff that we're talking about, make sure that these boundaries are well defined from the beginning. And I don't think it was just on my part, like you said, when you spoke with your husband at that time as well, he didn't really touch it either. So, okay. But I hope that you all are having some hello moments out there as we are giving you the best that we have. You don't know. Both of us are in the hot seat on here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we want to feed your brain. So we're going to get back to a few more words. I know you mentioned something earlier, and I figured that I would probably have to bring it back up. When I said that we co-parent. And you said one thing, you was like, co-parent, Kim. I don't feel like we co-parent. What was that word that you used, or what was your definition of how you felt in this whole blended family?
So my role in this was I was a shadow parent. That's what I call myself, a shadow parent.
The shadow parent.
Yeah,
okay, tell
and
me more.
Your name is
Shalandria.
Shalandria. So that was a boundary that I put for myself.
Okay.
And a term that I created for myself. I when there are two active parents that's in their child's life, that third person or fourth person, because you had a husband too, at one time.
Tell all my business.
They're backstage parents. They should parent from backstage. So I call myself a shadow parent. And that is simply, I was there to support my husband in raising his children. I was there to make sure when they came to me that they had everything that they needed, that they were dressed, that they were fed, that they were, she taking notes because she got something to say about
I'm
that.
going to say about this.
She got a short story to tell. But that was my role. That's what I took on. Now, it got me. She had a good husband.
I see our ex and our next and our ex and our ex is online. He said she had a good husband. Which one? I want to say amen to that. I want to say you're right, but I want to know which one had a good husband. Who are you talking about?
We both had a good husband. And I'll tell you why. I'll go back and I'll tell you why. But so being that shadow parent, you have to know what your role is in a blended family. Okay. And by knowing your role in this situation, it helps to have a healthy household. When you don't know your role, then everybody is doing everything. The kids see that and they get to jumping in them black holes that it's hard to pull them out of. And what I'm referring to when I say that is when, kids play their parents anyway.
Yes.
Right. So now we didn't double this. So now they got multiple people to play. Right. So when kids normally play checkers, now our kids playing chess. That's what they done learn how to play.
Yes.
Because, the stakes got bigger. Can I tell you what bothered me in being in taking on my role?
As long as you say it in the mic so everyone can hear.
So While I'm cooking, cleaning, bathing, making sure the kids get up, go to school, packing their bags, etc., etc., I'm doing all this, right? I'm feeling like, the person that little Marie
The
said that I was,
man.
the maid. I'm feeling like that. My husband is, he doing what he do. That's what she's supposed to do. That's what she here for. She got to take care of the kids. And this one, she like, that's what you supposed to do. Hey. But it wasn't in a
Yeah.
nice way.
Well, that's the role that you took on for me. And I will say this, when any of us, when we are meeting the next, and I know many people are in this situation now, your kids come and visit their father, or they go and visit their father, or he might have them around another woman. You only have your perceptions. We're not mature enough to just say this person is going to be good for my child. You do your background. You like, okay,
Hmm.
where's she from?
Right.
How old she is? What's this? We get the dirt. And so all the dirt, or all the, how they say now, the tea that I received about you, I knew you were older. So of course I was just like, okay, she does know how to do this. So anything that he kind of threw in, like, yeah, she's cooking Brussels sprouts. I mean, yeah, that must be your favorite vegetable. Everybody talked about these Brussels sprouts. I'm like, I didn't even know what Brussels sprouts were. Even though my mother cooked good food and I kind of cooked, she was over there throwing down. But of course, she older. So of course that gets downloaded in me. So in order for me to adapt and to feel comfortable in the skin I'm in, you use the weapons against them. So I'm like, okay, well, she cooks. So good, cook. Then I did write down this word. If you can see it, it's dressed. When she was like, my job was to dress the kids, do this and do that. This woman, this is why. See, I know you're looking like, okay, Kim, you did all that, or that's how you said it. But she put me in that place where I would send my children over there, and I'm 21, 19, or whatever, because they got married at a certain age, but they were talking years before. So we probably was like at 21 now.
Hmm.
And I send them over there with little play clothes. And as you can see, this is me. Hello, t-shirt, jeans, and this is the other mom over here, where she's gonna be bedazzled, runway. I love it. But I guess she felt my kids should be the same way. So anything I sent over there, they would come back with new clothes. I could comb my baby hair, do the best I can, because Lord knows I couldn't comb hair. She'll have it a whole nother way with her bows in it. So what was she saying to me? So she was telling me something indirectly, whether you know it or not. And so then I started going like, okay, so if I can't beat her, well, you do it. So we were at birthday parties and she would go overboard. And maybe this is just who that person is. And this is a lesson for other people that you don't know. Because sometimes we just look like she trying to get the guy. She trying to be impressive. She trying to do all this for my baby. And that's how I felt. So guess what? Because I'm Kim, I ain't going to fight or try to do it better. I was like, well, do it then. So that was my thing. I would walk into place and be like, she got it down. Like, what we eating? Where's the birthday cake? Oh, that's nice. That's what you should do. So even though it seemed like it was very vulgar, but I would say I had a good reason, because in a sense I did feel inadequate. I felt like, okay, now my husband is with this older woman. She feeding him Brussels sprouts and stuff. She is she all dressed up, and he liked to dress up. So this is my side note. When you got a man and he starts seeing other women, and he was at the bank and she was at the bank and she was looking good and smelling good, and I'm at home, with the kids, though I'm at home with our kids doing mommy stuff. I'm a mama. I'm at home doing his book report my head and flip-flops on. He started coming home like, Kim, why don't you wear a suit? Or he started wearing me pantsuits and start putting skirts on me, and I'm like, what? This is not me. I don't care about this stuff. And I guess I should have started caring about it, because it was something that was attractive to him. Anyway, she wanted to dress my kids. They wanted to be this. What I call you one time? I was like, yeah, y'all always trying to keep up with the Joneses. Right. And what you tell me?
We are the Joneses.
I know. She remembered that too. We
No,
did.
But I had to respond that way, because all of that she said, those were not her thoughts. Let me get that straight. She said all of these things to me out of her mouth. Those were, how you just think something and you feel some type of way. No, they came out of her mouth, which is, why I felt some type of way. And, we couldn't quite get Maurice in there to, help us out with, keeping things straight. We couldn't get him to participate that way. He just like, y'all, deal with it. But I'm gonna say something to all of the parents that are out there, who are in a similar situation, and they feel like you said you felt like I that was a dab at you,
Yes,
that
I felt like.
I'm redoing I'm sending Tashana home with her hair done a certain way. I'm buying them clothes.
Well, they
I
had
send those
clothes. You're
things.
buying your brand and your name and what you
Yeah,
like. They had clothes now.
yeah, they
Come on.
did. They did. But I'm buying them things that I like. Um, but that was what I thought. That had nothing to do with Kim. But being young, not understanding how this thing works. We were just, going flying by the seat of our pants, right?
Yes, I would say
Um,
that.
just me. That was just something I was just doing it. I mean, I still do it today. That was just something that was just me. It wasn't anything against you.
It wasn't anything. And exactly. And I'm glad that we said that because at the end of the day, she's been consistent. I laughed when I swung by and picked her up for this event and I had on my hello shirt and jeans and she came out like we were about to go on the runway. And I was like, yes. But it was still inconsistency with her character. That's who she is. And a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to meet who that other person is and really what benefits your children will get from this person. And sometimes we just have to trust the guy.
Right.
We have to trust that dad that he's going to make the right moves and make the right decision. And one thing I can say is that I believe that he did pick someone that's great. Like one thing that I always told even my children, this is why I still can't believe that story Maurice said. I can't believe it. But I always told them, I said, mommy made the decision to leave. I said, I knew two things that were going to happen. And this is for people that needs to get over and out of a relationship. I said, either one, he's going to be exactly who he was with me, with her, and good riddance. That's how I felt. Or he's going to be a better person and good riddance to them too, because that means that she had what it took to get him to his next level. And definitely that happened. He started getting everything that he always wanted in life. He went to the next level. And the blessed part, my children was able to benefit and go to that next level too. But I guess the only hiccup was I was going with them. We all coming up. If you come up, I come up, the kids come up. But honestly, I know it might seem, like, oh, Kim, you're so wow. But if you know me, you know my heart as well. And even you could ask Maurice to this day, I'm always praying for him. And I did. I prayed for him. I prayed for my baby daddies because if they prosper, my kids prosper. If they get to a better life, my kids get to a better life. If they see the mountaintop, my kids can see the mountaintop. So, it is just an experience. So we're going to start kind of getting to the end. Like, what do you want people to walk away with? I know we shared a lot and there's so much we haven't shared.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to come back and do this another time with Maurice and maybe the children to come because everyone will have a different side of the story, I am sure.
Yeah. I want people to take away, that at the end of the day, a blended family is about creating that safe haven and a safe place to raise those children. It's about the kids. It is not about the parents. Now, if it was about the parents, you probably wouldn't even be in a blended family situation, right?
Yes.
So you had to dissolve that, move on, and make the best of and think about the children in this situation. Some of the things that we just shared, some of the stories, and we've had we got some things off our chest, the other day. Or we just shared that because when you're in the midst of it, when we were in the midst of it, we didn't know. I
We
didn't know
didn't.
some things. I hurt you, you hurt me. You didn't. We
Right.
didn't know. And Lord, our children could probably tell you some stuff that we really don't have a clue about.
Yes.
But it's all about the children. And when you have, if for 1 minute, in many of these situations, we get to a place where we ignore the kids. Now,
Exactly.
we didn't ignore our
Oh, no,
kids,
not at all.
thank God. But I'm gonna get back to this when I said Maurice was a good husband, because of Maurice and his upbringing and his being family oriented. I mean, he stood strong and flat footed when Tashawn and Maurice will absolutely be taken care of.
Yes.
I mean, there was not going to be anything less, when it came to them. And while I needed him, from a husband perspective, to stand up for me, he stood his ground for them.
For them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And in some situations that don't happen. That don't even happen because the parents still be at each other, and the kids, they just, they fall through these cracks. These cracks end up like holes. You can't pull them back, Um, but it's about the kids, and it's about, creating a solid foundation for them to be able to flourish.
Okay.
in.
So I saw a friend of mine, Keisha, on the line, and she's asked, how do I come up as an ex when the ex-husband comes up? This is how I look at it, Keisha. When they prosper, they're connected. He's their covering. So when he was able to move out of the hood where we lived in a hooded area and move to a nice suburb and buy a nice home in a nice school district, they were fortunate enough to be able to go and make that transition too. They were fortunate enough to benefit from trips and benefit from traveling and benefit from being in dance classes and things of that event. So that's a burden off of me as well. I don't have to work as hard because his degree that I helped him get start working hard now, and his lovely wife that took him to the next level. So there are benefits, and if you keep looking at it in a positive way, that we all win-win. And of course, I might have did it really extreme, but of course, if all of us win-win, if it's good for the children, that's really what you need to do. That's what you need to do.
And I'll let me just take it one step further,
Go ahead.
because everybody benefits in this. Blended families have two or three, four parents,
Yes, that's
sometimes,
it.
or three parents. They got multiple grandparents. They have more cousins, just more family. They get more gifts on Christmas. Just let me tell y'all that.
And I don't have to buy all the big expensive ones.
Tashana, then you get more gifts on Christmas, and little Maurice, then y'all get more gifts. All the parents, you're just getting stuff. But they benefit because and then I think what they benefit most from is they have four, in our case,
Yes.
we have four parents that had four different experiences.
Yes.
Right? That
Yes.
they could pull from. You and Maurice brought college, and universities to our family, our blended family, right? I didn't have the opportunity to graduate from college. You all brought that to the plate. So our children, all four of them, had they could pull from different things from four people.
Yes.
So there's great benefit in having a blended family if it's all about the kids.
If it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I believe that's one thing outside of this little small conversation that we have shared with you guys. One thing that both of us had in mind were our children. Because we are a testament that out of my smart mouth and out of her little antics that she did that I took in a certain way, we never fought. We never cussed each other out. We never displayed any type of immoral characters in front of our children. Now, behind the scene, I mean, we probably was at each other's throat in our minds, but we never crossed that line in order to continue to have this blended family. And so that's why we thought that it would be appropriate for us to share our story, because right now we do have four flourishing children that, if they're flourishing in academics, if they're flourishing in their careers, if they're flourishing even in giving the same thing back to their children that we gave to them. Now, was it perfect? No. Is any marriage, any blended family perfect? No. But if you keep the goal, and that's that
Mm-hmm.
child, if you keep your children as the goal, you'll make good decisions. You'll sacrifice your feelings and your emotions and your wants or dislikes for the cause. And I do believe that both of us did that. I thank Pooh. See, I even call her the family name. I've never called her. It sounds so funny calling her Andrea. Andrea. It's Pooh. I'll be like, did Pooh come? Is Pooh here? She was, I couldn't tell you what she was to me, but she was family. Pooh. So, but I do really want to just thank her, not only for being here, but for being there for all those years. I remember times when I knew that she had my back, when situations presented where she had to stand in the gap of protection for my daughter. And I knew that at that moment that was nothing she could pretend, that she actually was my daughter's mother at that moment and rescued her from some danger that was before her. So at that moment, everything else was out the door. If I did question any kind of intentions or what she was trying to do at that moment, she truly proved to me that she was more than just the maid. Never said that, but I'm just saying it now. I never told Maurice that, but she was more than just she need to do that, or she his wife, and this is the role. She was actually, at that moment, she had become my daughter's mother. So I do appreciate you for that. So I'm going to look out here. We have about 1 or 2 minutes, but I want to tell you all hello. Like, welcome to the Hello Show, where I'm going to always bring you a relatable topic. It will always be candid conversation, and it will always be an inspiring solution. So, right now, anyone out there that are going through blended families, if you're dating someone, please consider the child. Please consider the children first, and you're next. And that is it. I'm so happy that you joined us on intellectualradio.com, where we feed your brain. And I love you guys. And make sure you go and have the best conversation of your life. Just say hello. Woo!